Hello, welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at the first legend team-ish here for the season. We're gonna take a look at a team from Chris who just hit a legend as the first person of the season. But they were running this team from 2800 to 2900 elo range because above that, towards getting to that legend rank, they were running some varied teams looping around the Annihilate, the LilyKatchum, the Shadow Glider, the Lantern, and the Azumarill, they said. So you can build teams with those Pokemon as well. Like those Pokemon are currently the most common Pokemon anyway, but this is here a team that they used from 2800 to 2900 again. Thanks so much for letting me know those teams. Like, of course, not like it's not really something that they have to do or anything like this, so I always appreciate this kind of support. Also, a link, of course, to them down in the description to their Twitter. Feel free to leave them a follow. And otherwise, they also used a team from 2500 to 2800, which is the Shadow A-Slash with Shadow Claw, Water Gun, Lantern, as well as Shadow Glider. And I feel like this team might even be better, in my opinion. Like, I feel like this team is a really, really good team as well. Maybe we can take a look at this one eventually as well again. But anyway, today we're going to take a look at a Venusaur team. And I feel like Venusaur is very, very smart in the current meta because Azumarill is literally everywhere. The other Pokemon that's everywhere is Poliwrath. And also, there are so many Charm Pokemon. And so Venusaur just makes a lot of sense in the current meta. This team itself, I'm not too sure about it. I have to say, I did not play my best here. Like, I definitely had a lot of misplays from my part, a lot of things that were unnecessary, a lot of things where I really, really played bad. I kind of put it down to the heat right now. Like, it's so hot here. It is, I don't know, like, it's likely tomorrow is like normal temperatures again, but it's kind of difficult to really concentrate on things, I feel like. But still, this team itself still went decently, but like, I could have most likely got some better results out of it. But still, this team, I think, has some potential, but I think you can maybe even build better teams for like the general meta with a Venusaur. I still think Venusaur is one of the coolest Pokemon to run right now. Venusaur has so much potential against, again, Azumarill, against the Annihilate, against literally everything. This team just struggles against Pokemon like the Skarmory I said before as well, I think. Skarmory is just a Pokemon that he barely can beat. If it's an Elite, actually you still have a little bit of a chance. It is not an ideal matchup for LilyKatchum either, but at least you can get them quite low with lick damage. But yeah, if you see a Skarmory, it's kind of game over. But they said they barely saw any Skarmory with this team. I have not seen a single Skarmory today, like I can tell you that as well, like there was no Skarmory against me with this team, which is something that is of course quite nice for us. But again here, I was kind of using a shield expecting maybe an Ice Punch, maybe it wasn't necessary, it's going to be a Night Slash. The opponent is now going to be able to just get to another move, it's going to be another Night Slash. I just decided to overfarm up to 100 energy at this point with my Gligar. Is that the right call? I'm not too sure about it. I could have also maybe went for the Aerial Ace before they got to the Night Slash, but I don't know, I'm still going to be able to knock them out. I can go for a Charge Move straight away against that LilyKatchum. Shadow Dig is going to do quite a lot of damage and leaves them at exactly 1 HP, which is kind of unfortunate as they can now go for a Charge Move. It's going to be the Power Whip, and they have in the back a Mantine, and this is game over. This is something that happened to me quite often. Mantine was a Pokemon that this team also can struggle against. Like usually, what you would like to have with this team is that you win the lead, the opponent swaps out, or like you lose the lead hard and you swap into your Gligar. Because if you swap into your Gligar, you're going to be able to bait out those Pokemon like the Mantine, which you struggled in last game. But I feel like what I had with this team is a lot of scenarios where I was forced to stay in with my LilyKatchum because the backline of me would struggle against that Pokemon. And so, for example, here, like against the opponent's Sandslash, where they're actually going to use a shield here, which is kind of interesting, against that Power Whip. It is just going to be something where I'm forced to stay in. Like, what am I supposed to swap into? Like, into my Gligar, which is going to die to, like, 1 charge move. Or into my Venusaur, which is going to die to, like, 2 charge moves. But, like, yeah, it is what it is. Here we're going to see the Azumarill swapping in, which is lovely for us. Here, this was something where I was just not sure. I was not sure if this would do enough damage against Azumarill from a normal variant. If we had the Shadow Venusaur, for sure we would have done enough damage. I feel like it was just barely like straight on the edge, and so I rather opted to go for the Energy Lead compared to the Shield advantage that I only potentially would have got. The Energy Lead was just a safer play, so I don't think that was really a misplay. As you can see, the Sandslash here, going to have to use a Shield anyway. I can try to go for the full farm now. By the way, Frenzy Plant has 56%. I think they were above 60%, so I think it was the right call. Anyways, the opponent forfeits no matter what. What a lovely lead, and we're gonna see Cristian swapping in. This is usually a matchup that you can align yourself, but here's one awkward thing. You're gonna see it as well. The thing is, Cristian can win this in the one-shot scenario if they're running Future Sight, I think. And so I can let the move go through. I should be able to survive 2 future sights. They're running future sight, which is quite awkward because it does quite a lot of damage. And as you can see here, we can go for the double body slam. The issue is, basically, if I decide to let the next move go through as well, I'm going to be able to either get the shield advantage, which I would love to, or get switch advantage, which is also still okay. Here I make a mistake. I should have let the opponent get more fast moves in first. I should have let the opponent get me a little bit lower, because this is like 4 Shadow Claws worth of health for me. It's actually exactly 4, which is kind of hilarious. And now the opponent has 1,000,000 energy on the Feraligatr. And this was kind of missed by me. Like, this is something which, like, if I would have had a little bit more concentrating on the battles or whatever, I would have been most likely a little bit better off with it as well. But in comes the Bastion. The opponent has a shield advantage. I am forced to take a risk here and go for the dig where the opponent plays a safe play. Like, I don't know, I can still go for a bait afterwards, but I'm forced to use a shield here as well, because my Gligar is my best damage source against that Bastion. And I would expect that I would be able to go for another dig after this one if I use that shield, which I did here, of course, and I am correct with that. This looks like a CMP tile, and I was hoping that they would use a shield here, but of course they don't, and so we are kind of in a tough spot. We are forced to make a catch here now onto the opponent's charge move, and it works out perfectly, which now allows me to keep my 1 charge move on my Gligar. I can go for a Frenzy Plant here. But if the opponent can overfarm again to a double charge move, I'm screwed, like there's nothing I can do about it. But they cannot, and so we can win this battle. The next opponent is having a great deed for us. It's going to be that Shadow Sableye, a Pokemon that I maybe also want to showcase again. I love this Pokemon quite a bit. I think it's a cool Pokemon to run. For the current meta, it's most likely a little bit of a tough Pokemon to run, to be fair, because, like, if you think about it, there is quite a lot of Charm Pokemons currently around, quite a lot of Zumrals around, and so the opponent decides to use a shield here. That's fine for me. I should still be able to reach another Power Whip without having to use a shield against the opponent, which forces another shield from them or gets the knockout anyway, and they swap out into the Skeledirge. I was still able to keep a charge move here, which is lovely, and I am going to play out this matchup here. Just gonna try to go for a dig, just gonna play it safe. Like, there's no real reason for me to, like, play it not safe and go for an Aerial Ace bait. Like, it's gonna benefit me of giving me like 2 fast moves less or whatever, but here's the opponent gonna use a shield. It's still going to be fine. Like, I still should be able to align myself. Like, there's not really a big issue here. Dig is coming through, going to be able to knock them out, and so be it. Like, we're gonna be in a decent spot, right? They're still gonna have that little what's called Sableye there, and I should be able to even snipe them with that Power Whip of my Venusaur and my Lickitung, of course. And this is going to be able to get them to 1 HP. In the back, it's going to be an Azumarill. Everything is fine. Everything is awesome, but it is actually not as fine as it seems, because the opponent can go ahead, go for an Ice Beam here. And again, if I had a little bit more of a brain here today, which I just clearly don't have, I would have played some things here differently as well. Like, this is on me. Like, this is totally on me. Like, why did I not go for the Frenzy Plant there? Why did I decide to go for the full farm down? Like, the opponent has a 1 HP Pokemon in the back that definitely does not have 2 charge moves, but it might have 1 charge move. And it does have 1 charge move. And like, so, like, this is on me. Like, this is just me playing really bad and not really on the team itself. But again, I'm just gonna blame the Heat for this and definitely not myself. No, of course, like, it's most likely a little bit of both of them. But very silly play by me. Like, if I just, like, concentrate more, like, there's a logical play that literally wins me the game every single time. And spoiler alert, this is not going to be the only time when this is going to happen. But anyway, we're going to have here one of the worst possible Pokemon to encounter for this. It's not the Goodra. I mean, Goodra can be quite awkward. Let me tell you this. I like what the opponent is doing here, though, which you're gonna see now as well. I decided to swap out into my Venusaur because, like, at the end of the day, like, they're running Thunder Punch and Awkward Tail. Everything is going to be resisted. Everything is awesome. Or not. It's going to be a Sludge Wave variant. And, well, at the time where the battle, basically, I was, like, kind of confused about, like, why would you run this? Like, what's the point? Like, why? Afterwards, I think it's actually a very smart idea. Like, at the end of the day, you're most likely going to have another Dragon-type Pokemon in the back, which, spoiler alert, we're not going to see here today because we have 2 shields down and the opponent still has 2 shields, and, like, that's no real reason for us to really keep on going. I still try my best here, but, like, I'm gonna forfeit eventually. But the opponent has a Steel-type in the lead. They have a Safe Swap about a Dragon. Trying to have a coverage for a Fairy-type move is just, like, kind of smart. So, I'm gonna try to be kind of smart in this battle here as well. Let's see if this is going to work out. You know already that's most likely not going to work out for us, but Who knows? We're going to be able to just let the move go through, try to store some energy for later on, and swap out onto the Gligar. Getting out that the Wigglytuff is kind of nice. We have some lag here again. Honestly, lag is still horrible, but I don't think I have to tell you that because I feel like most people know about that anyway. If you ever played Go Battle League in the last month, like a month and a half, I think at this point, the game is broken. And like Niantic has not done a single thing, no communication. It's just madness, isn't it? Like, honestly, like, I don't know. I don't really always want to complain and stuff like this, but it's 1.5 months. Like, a little bit of quality for the game would be kind of nice eventually, but it is what it is. It is literally what it is. Here we're going to see the Wigglytuff going to be able to, farm me down. This is the thing as well, which I want to see change for the next season. I think the best is to buff Poison-type Pokemon, like not Wigglytuff, not you again. I guess I can give you like Weather Ball Fire if I want to, but don't buff Wigglytuff. Nobody needs that. But like just generally buffing Poison-type Pokemon, I feel like would be kind of helpful for the current meta because the amount of Charm Pokemon, it's not only Wigglytuff. Like I encountered like double Charm teams, I think 3 times today in total, or like different teams as well. It is madness. Like it is just something that has to change for the new season. The meta is kind of the same for like 9 months, and like people are just running toxic teams. And look at this! If I just went for the charge move there, the opponent had nothing to do. Like why did I go for the frenzy plan? I had the move. Like this was not like a over farm thingy or whatever. Like I don't know why I didn't do this. Like what is the point? Like my only real option here is now go for a double power whip, and at the end of the day, like what the hell? Like I just barely miss out of it, and it's just like so silly to lose a game like this. But what this also kind of tells you is, this is kind of something that I would really recommend you. Like if you're struggling at Go Battle League, please record your battles. Record your battles and don't look at your wins. Like yeah, you can look at your wins and have fun with that, but look at your losses and look why you're losing. Because a lot of times, like here as well, for example, it's just me. Like here it was very clearly me, but also like there are a lot of like small decisions that you could do differently. Etc. which would have won you the game, or like predicting what the opponent has in the bag, seeing patterns of teams and stuff like this. This is like kind of how you get to the next level if you are struggling and like you are still in ace rank or you're still in like veteran rank, stuff like this. I think I'm still in veteran rank, by the way, but yeah, it is what it is. Basically, yeah, for when you're not able to like datch and stuff like this, recording your battles is like the first and best step to start doing something towards that. Otherwise, of course, coaching is something that you can do as well. And I was offering coaching as well. Currently, I'm not, but I'm gonna most likely, hopefully, gonna get this back. Yeah, there's like some changes to the platform that I used that I didn't really like, and so I stopped doing that. But I might gonna pull it up again after I'm done with university for this half a year. Anyway, we're going to have a Toxapex here. This Pokemon is quite okay for us. I tried to catch a move. Looked well here, right? Like, did work out super, super well. The move definitely got onto my Lickitung there. Perfectly fine. It is what it is. Like, it wasn't my day. Like, it just wasn't my day in Go Battle League today. It is what it is. I still kind of want to showcase here one of the first legend. Well, definitely, I think it's the first legend at all, at least like the only one that I've seen so far on Twitter. Of course, you never know if people outside of Twitter hit legend already, but I don't think so. The leaderboards definitely didn't have anyone before there. So congrats again to Chris. Again, like link is down below as well to their profile. Feel free to leave them a follow and a nice comment below their legend post as we can go to the final battle. We were able to at least still come back from that one, but can we come back from Magnezone? And I was like kind of thinking, I don't really know how to play this one. Like I honestly don't really know, because like the lead is kind of neutral. Like they're gonna win the lead usually all the time. I think there's nothing where I can win the lead if they play it correctly. My backline is can kind of resist the electric type damage, is kind of cool, but we don't really do damage back against them. And so I started again another charge move here, and I was hoping, please just for the love of God, once be Moonblast. Of course not, and so like this matchup is all of a sudden way worse as well. If it was Moonblast, we would have hardwalled the opponent's moveset, but like this, what am I supposed to do? I can still go for some friendly plans. That's lovely, isn't it? But not before they can go for another future sight, and so I can at least overfarm to 2 frenzy plans now, which is lovely, and so I can at least get out of here with a little bit of energy, but I have no shields. The opponent's Magnezone has a charge move stored. I'm in a very tough spot. Like, I don't have to tell you that I'm in a very tough spot here, especially if they're going to have a Goodra in the back. And honestly, I don't know. I struggle quite a bit with the current Great League meta. I have to say, I don't really like the current Great League meta. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna wait for like a cool cup in the next few weeks. I think there's like Remix Cup coming back as well eventually for the Great League. I'm gonna just try to maybe hit Legend during that cup. We have to see, but here the opponent has 2 charge moves. I should have just went for the aerial ace anyway. Like, this was a misplay again for me. Like, a lot of things that just didn't go right here for me today where I just played it bad. It is what it is. Like, yeah, it is what it is. I'm not going to be able to swap out in time. My only place to farm it down doesn't work out. And so this is going to be it for this video. Still was at least able to have here, I think, a 4-on-1 with this team in this set. So hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you have not already. And I see you then. Bye bye.